days since the war started. 177 days of suffering, horror, and grieving. 177 days of hostages being held in captivity, tortured, and being treated inhumanly. 177 days of bombing, destruction, and unimaginable death and starvation in Gaza, and increased settler violence in the West Bank. For many people in Israel, it's been one long day since October 7. It's been nearly 6 months of hell. And today, we're finally starting to feel new energy. The people in Israel are getting up from the Shiva and flooding the streets in Jerusalem in rage. These will be the days of rage that will send Netanyahu's government home. Send them home!
Send them home! Send them home! Send them home! Send them home!
Seeing the hostage family concluding after 177 days that his government preferred its own survival over the loved one in Gaza, and not just that, seeing the poison machine of Netanyahu and Channel 14 and all this crew targeting them as enemies, it's beyond everything we could ever imagine. To say outrageous would be an understatement. Yesterday, they had enough. We had enough. We are joining them from here on their call to take to the streets and continue until this government falls, until we have a responsible leader that will bring them home. Bring them home!
Bring them home!
Bring them home now! Bring them home now!
Bring them home!
Now! Now!
Now!
This government has to go. 177 days of hostage are being held in Gaza. Busha!
Busha! Busha! Busha! Busha!
Soldiers keep dying. Hundreds of thousands of displaced people from the south and the north of Israel without any long-term solution. Busha!
Busha! Busha! Busha! Busha!
A humanitarian crisis in a biblical dimension in Gaza aiming to exclude Israel from the liberal democracy's nations. Busha!
Busha! Busha! Busha!
A crisis in the relationship with Biden administration and Israel's allyship with the U.S., threatening to isolate Israel and alienate the U.S. Busha!
Busha! Busha!
This is the list of your achievements, Bibi. Shame on you. Shame on Netanyahu.
Shame on you! Shame on you! They are running out of time! Netanyahu must resign! Out of time, out of place! Netanyahu, leave your place!
We'll practice it afterward. And we know today, on 107 days of the war, this ongoing war, without horizon or a plan, does not bring security to anyone. This ongoing war won't solve anything. It just adds more pain, suffering, and destruction. The ongoing war will not bring back the hostages. There is no military solution. The only solution is diplomacy. The only way to protect life is coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians. The thought that we should live forever on the sword is messianic and fundamentalistic. It comes from Ben Gvir and Smotrich, and this is what they want. This is not in our name. This is not our liberal Judaism. We are with the people who strive for life. I know sometimes it looks darker than what we could ever imagine, and I know that it seems like the ongoing situation only gets worse recently. But there is an alternative. There is another way, and this is why we are here today. We are here today to say this reality is unacceptable. And we are joined by unacceptable protests all around the world today, in LA, Seattle, New York, DC, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Toronto, Vancouver, DC, Boston, Melbourne, UK, Madrid, Munich, Basel, Freiburg, Zurich, and Torino, and many more. Let's give a huge shout out to the protesters in Israel. We are standing with solidarity with them today. Stronger. Let's get them to know they're not alone. This government has to go. The hostages must be back home. And our rage days are starting now.